Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new unboxing video from us here at Phoenix Gold. And what we have in front of me today is one of three brand new models of DSP amplifier in our ZD range. And today what we're going to be looking at is our ZDA 4.8 plug and play DSP amplifier. Now, the R&D team and all of our engineers have spent a long time working on this product to produce what we believe to be the best plug and play integration DSP amplifier on the market. And there's a lot of key technologies in here that make the product as good as it is. Not only with it being probably the highest power model on the market, but also using Class A/B technology as opposed to Class D technology, and some of the branding of the components inside, we believe this to be the best DSP plug and play amplifier on the market. So let's open it up, take a look what we get, and we'll go over some of the key features that you get with the amplifier. So quickly opening up the amplifier, obviously we get our manual, and you can see here we have a QR code on the manual. So scan that and you can download the DSP software, which will be available on Windows operating system, Android, and there will also be a mobile phone app for Android and Apple. Open this up, we see our signal processing diagram, as well as our specifications, DSP functionality, and obviously all of our sizing on there as well. So if we take the amplifier out, see what we get in the box, and then we can have a talk about some of the features of the product. So we'll just take the amp out and we'll have a quick look at the cabling that we get with the amplifier as it comes. So as the basic amplifier, we have what we would class as aftermarket cables. So what we get here is our 20-pin Molex connector plug. Now, again, this is for an aftermarket installation because we've got all bare wired ends here. We've got the signal inputs for high level, as well as the output channels for your speakers, power and earth. We then have remote input and output cable, and then a further channels 5 and 6 for high level inputs on there as well. So they are our aftermarket cable connectors. And then we also have our PC connection cable as well, which comes with the amplifier. So that's USB to essentially the printer style cable connector, which goes into the amplifier to the PC, and that's what allows you to do all your updates and set up your DSP on the amplifier. So let's take a quick look at the amplifier itself and go over some of the key features of the product. Now, the R&D and the engineering team spent a long time working on this product in order to make it the best that we possibly can and the best we feel on the market. So we have products in here and components from the likes of Burr Brown. So we have a Burr Brown OP and a Burr Brown DAC, or digital to analog converter, built in. We use Toshiba transistors. It's got a die-cast heatsink, which is even better for heat dispersion than you would from a aluminium extrusion. We have a very high sampling rate, so 48 kilohertz sampling rate on there. It's got gold PCB, so everything internally is the best it possibly can be in terms of conductivity. As you saw there, we use Molex connectors, so super well insulated and perfect connectivity every time. It also has built-in Bluetooth 5.0, so that is for audio streaming as well as DSP tuning. So again, perfect for the modernist using a phone and the more traditionalist using a PC. And then, as you can see from the amplifier, it's very, very small and compact, so easy to fit. Now, when we talk about easy to fit, as we looked at before, and we had the aftermarket style connector, which uses the Molex but the bare wires, what would be the standard installation process would be to use vehicle specific connectors. So what would be the norm would be to buy the amplifier as a specific vehicle DSP plug and play unit. So this here is the ISO connector. So it uses the same 20-pin Molex connector and then has ISO connectors on the other end. Now that can be used direct with an aftermarket head unit, so you can plug that into any other branded of aftermarket head unit. But what we would normally see is that would be then paired with what we call a T-harness. So this one here is a quad lock harness. So this will be associated with Mercedes or Audi or Volkswagen those vehicles, and we have a male and a female connector. So you would remove the male connector from the factory head unit, plug that into the female connector of this loom, and then you would plug the male connector back into the unit, so that you're essentially plugging directly into the OEM head unit. Then the ISO connectors would plug back into the ISO connector wiring loom, and that would mean you have a completely plug and play connection from DSP amplifier to your vehicle, completely non-destructive installation. So that there is how this would plug and play. So that would be, for example, for a Volkswagen or a BMW or a Mercedes, you can have a completely plug and play solution for your vehicle. In this case, it'd be the 4-channel solution. We also have a 6-channel and an 8-channel solution. So let's take a quick look at what's on the amplifier in terms of connections itself. So if we turn this over, this is where your Molex connector plugs in. So we have a 20-pin connector here, which has your high-level inputs. The speaker outputs, which obviously in the plug and play solution go straight back through into the factory loom, and the same with your power and ground. You then have an additional 2 channels of high-level input, and you have a remote input and output. We have our choice of remote turn-on, accessory and host. So depending on whether you're using an aftermarket or a plug and play solution is how you would select that. We have a double fusing because of the power that this amplifier emits. And this particular one, we're looking at 4 by 75 watts RMS per channel, which is absolutely huge for this type product. And we then have a standardized power and ground with 8 gauge terminals. So if you really want to take that full power through and go directly to the battery, you can. If we look on the other side, what we have here is we have our low level outputs. So as we said, this is a 4-channel amp, but it's an 8-channel DSP. So we have a further 4 channels of DSP output, which can go to, say, a subwoofer amplifier, or a further 4-channel amplifier if you wanted to amplify the rear channels in a subwoofer. Whatever you wanted to do on the vehicle installation that you've got the additional output channels on the DSP there, as well as the coaxial. We also have optical input. We have the USB for the PC software. We have a hardwired remote connector. We have a USB for music connector. So if you wanted to use a high definition music player, so you wanted to keep those high level FLAC files or something like that and play that directly into the DSP without going through the vehicle, you can do. We've got our IR connector, which is for our wireless remote control. So essentially it's a signal receiver, and then the wireless remote control emits to that. And then we also have our low level input. So if you wanted to install this in a non plug and play setup, you just wanted to use it as an aftermarket amplifier, you can take a single RCA input into the DSP amplifier and spread that across all the output channels to give you the signal that you need. So that there is our Phoenix Gold ZDA4.8. Now obviously that then comes with the DSP software. Now the DSP software allows you to do pretty much anything you want to do with this product. So it gives you a 31 band EQ, you can do full time alignment, you can do all your crossover adjustments, level adjustments, anything that you want to do in regards to tuning this amplifier to perfect your car's sound can be done from the software. So that there is the ZDA 4.8 unboxed.